Well, there it is. Hay baler is rolled its last bale for the season. I rolled a lot of hay this season by myself. This baler had to do a couple repairs on it during the season. There's always something. I mean, you ain't gonna get out from doing some kind of repair when you got all this machinery with 10 million moving parts. I think all I had to replace this year was just a chain. I changed some seals that needed to be changed for a long while, and that cylinder right there. That was my first time to ever break one of these down and change them, and I guess it's holding good because look how dry it is, nice and dry. So that worked out well. Didn't cost me much, 50 something dollars I think for the seal kit from John Deere. And so the chain, the seal kit, and put a couple more pickup teeth on there, but I had some left over from changing them last year, so that didn't cost me anything. What else? I think that was it. Oh yeah, and I had a one small bearing that I had to change, and that cost me about 52. So also, so 50 and 50, and the chain too is about 50. So I was about $150 out on repairs on that hay baler for the year. That is nothing. That is so cheap compared to the price of a new baler. Of course, I did all the work myself, and that's a big help also. You're not having to pay people to do that because the labor's going to really go up fast. But it baled a lot of bales for a small farm this season. I think I probably rolled around maybe about 500 rolls, somewhere right in there, for the season between all the property, and it's pretty good. I did that by myself. For a commercial baler going out and doing that, that's nothing. 500 bales is nothing, but they got multiple tractors, and they've got a lot of people working and a lot of equipment, new equipment and everything. So I mean, it's just easy peasy for them. But for me, I'm a one-man show. I'm doing this. I'm cutting it, and it's with one tractor. I'm baling it, and I've got my old tractor that I pull the rake with, but I just jump from tractor to tractor, bale it myself, then I unhook all this and come back with the hay forks and move it all myself. And that turns into a little bit of work for one Mohican. But you know what? That's life. Now on the tractor this season, what kind of work did I have to do for the tractor this season? Well, another thing that's not necessarily just for this year, but I had to put new front tires on. And man, they look great. I've been so proud to have these new tires on here. And that cost me a little money. Not too bad though. But that's nothing that's like a breakdown. That's maintenance. That's a wearable item. You're going to have to replace those. And I had to change that radiator hose right there. That didn't cost me much, 20 bucks or so. Not a big deal. And just maintenance stuff that you do no matter what. I changed out all the filters here recently, and changed the oil, fuel filter, water separator, and said oil filters. Of course, you're always going to be blowing out the radiator and all to get all that chaff and dust and stuff that builds up and collects in there. But you know what? I had a pretty smooth season overall. I really did. And let's see, what else on my hay rake, I changed a few teeth on it. I say a few, about 30 of those teeth on there. That's maintenance. That's part of it. They're a wearable item. Probably spent about 60 bucks on that, and maybe about another 20 bucks. I bought some new bolts and hardware and stuff, replaced some old bolts on it as I was changing those teeth, and I bought a used tire for it. So once again, let's say I'll just say 150 bucks on the rake. So that's some pretty cheap operating to bale as much hay as I did with some old used equipment. I'm happy for that. Back up here right now, and out in the field I took and knocked as much of the loose hay and stuff off as I could. So now I'm gonna get up here and take a power washer and get all of this stuff like this blown out of here, cleaned all up really good. take some paint, hit any places like this, try to cover any of that raw steel. And then inside the hay baler, the bales rub on the inside, and it leaves that shiny metal like that. And so that'll rust over the winter, just being raw metal. So what I'll do is I'll go inside in here and take some cheap, just Walmart brand spray paint, whatever old paint I can come up with, the color don't even matter, and spray over that raw steel. And then as soon as you start up your next hay season, it's going to rub all that paint right back off of there. But what it's doing is saving that metal, because every time it rusts and flakes away, your sidewalls are getting thinner and thinner and thinner. And over the years, they're going to get so thin, there's nothing left anymore. And it's probably going to be time for a new baler then. So that's very important to go inside for me and do that. Paint these sides so it don't pit like you see that pitting there. That pitting that's already there, that's from it being previously owned and them not doing that. But I'm telling you, what I do really will extend the life of this hay baler. So it's time to do a little maintenance and put the equipment away for the year. I'm going to put it inside this barn here behind me, so it'll be out of the weather as well. That's also pretty important for a machine like this hay baler. Keep it out of the elements. It'll protect the paint, and that's why this paint stayed, really good on this one through the years, as old as it is, because this is a pretty old machine, just to tell you the truth. And the people I bought it from also kept it inside of a barn. Now you might notice that there's a different color between these two right here. That's because they had to replace that door right there. They were pulling it with a pickup going down the highway, and these little rubber things right here popped loose, and the door flew back and damaged the door. So they had to replace that door out of from a salvage machine. So if you see the difference in color, that's what the deal is with that. And you see this color is because it was kept inside and it kept its nice dark original color. This color is from a machine that set outside, and you see how much the paint faded? That'll tell you what the sun will do right there. You're probably like, hey man, I thought this is like a Phil Am couple channel and you traveling, and it is. But we earn money here, and we earn money here on this farm, and we enjoy that, just to be honest. And then when winter comes and it's basically just broke down to feeding cows, just keeping hay in front of them and minerals and all in front of them, I pay somebody to do that, and I leave here for the winter. And I've enjoyed it like that, but there's sometimes I get over there and I hate to leave the Philippines. I hate it, and I come back with a really sour taste in my mouth, because it's a place I've really fell in love with. But I would never want to put in a business over there. It would be the biggest nightmare ever. I experienced a nightmare alone just with the things that I've bought and shared with family and all over there, of stuff getting broke, not taken care of, irresponsibilities and all that. But you do those things anyway because you love them and you're trying to help them, and in their life they're not used to managing things anyway. So you kind of have to understand that when you do those things. But if I wanted to have a full-fledged operating business over there, I don't want it. I don't want that. My wife's mentioned it to me. I'm like, I don't want it. It will turn the place that I love and have fun into a place that I'm going to have a headache. And so I want to go there and not worry about problems. I don't want to go there and add more problems. But we are about to head out. We are down to our last week. And in this last week, it's time that I start packing things away, winterizing things, that even if I was here and staying, these things still need to be winterized. So it's not just only about going abroad. But nonetheless, I need to do these things. And these are some of the things you're going to have to do if you are living between two places like we are. You're going to have to prepare things, especially if you have tools and equipment and stuff like that, things with engines in them. I'm going to have to make sure everything's got a good charge on the batteries, and then disconnect the batteries so they don't trickle down. And that goes so my tractor will still be putting out hay all winter. That goes on my extra vehicles, on my four-wheelers, riding lawnmowers, my fifth wheel, anything like that that's got batteries in it. You're going to need to make sure they got a good charge and disconnect them so they don't trickle down. So that's pretty important. And I say that if on some things, you might even want to put like a little small solar battery tender on them if you got a big battery set or something on there. So that's a piece of advice on that. So another piece of advice is on anything you got with a gasoline motor. You also want to prepare that for being gone for a long while. Like for instance, I have this big trencher right here. I just loaned it out to a neighbor to trench some water lines where they're building their house. So this too, you need to prepare it. So one of the things like I did is I turned off the gas. I ran the engine until all the gas was sucked out and gone out of the carburetor. Now another thing we did is we put True Fuel in here. And True Fuel does not break down like regular gasoline does and with that alcohol and all in it. So that was another thing we did. You can put fuel stabilizer, but be warned, some of those fuel stabilizers I've noticed can really eat some stuff up as well. But True Fuel, you can buy that out there. It doesn't break down like gasoline does at a gas station. So that's another safe thing you could put in. Same thing on your lawnmowers. Run them out of gas. Get out there, use it. Whatever you got to do, pour the gas out of the tank and run it until it runs dry. These larger gas tanks, like on these four-wheelers, pour fuel stabilizer in it. There's a fuel shut-off. Shut the fuel off, and again, run it till it's dry. Disconnect the battery. It's been my little advice video for the day. There's a lot of you that watch our channel that you two are travelers. You go abroad. You probably already do these things. Some of you may be new though, and you're looking at traveling abroad during the winter, leaving your home extended periods of the time or something. This might just be some advice to help you out to minimize problems upon your return. I hope this helps everyone. Hope everyone's safe out there. Thanks for taking time to watch this video. If you hadn't already, join us, subscribe, smash that like button to help us out there on these videos. We appreciate you a lot. Take care and God bless.